Alright, so this is going to be my first TV review. You'll probably shut it off after 5 seconds, but I don't care about you fuckers. I'm just doing this for self-gratification. This one's called Shelley Duvall Fairy Tale Theater, and I watched Disc 6. I don't know where it is. I'm still looking for it. Maybe my 2-year-old took it and lost it, just like my friggin' stick that I use for my accounting class. But Shelley Duvall was in The Shining, of course, and she played Olive Oil in that stupid Popeye movie with Robin Williams. I hate that movie. It's boring as hell. But she's the producer in this one, I guess. She's doing fairy tales for one of those cable channels. I forget which one. The only reason I ordered this disc on Netflix was because 3 of the Aladdin movies that I wanted weren't on there, so I picked this one just out of pure frustration because I couldn't find the other 3 Aladdin movies that are DVDs that I wanted. So the Aladdin episode on this disc is it's directed by Tim Burton, and Tim Burton did a lot of good movies in the 80s and 90s. I enjoyed Ed Wood. That's my favorite Tim Burton movie. But nowadays his movies suck. For instance, he tried to redo Dark Shadows, and it didn't come out right. He tried to make a gothic soap opera into a comedy, which was wrong. I mean, not to mention that that what's his name looks like Michael Jackson. I don't even remember that actor's name. The actor that everybody likes, and he could play any role. Well, he couldn't play Barnabas Collins, so yeah, whatever. That's my rant on Dark Shadows. Getting back to Aladdin, it's got Valerie Bertinelli and also James Earl Jones in it. So that was the highlight of the disc. The other stories were kind of silly. There was actually, the first one wasn't too bad. It was The Emperor's New Clothes is the first episode, and that one was pretty good. It was kind of interesting because they took money from the emperor and then they gave it back to the taxpayer, which is kind of a cool concept. These guys are supposed to be thieves and crooks, but actually they're kind of like real goody two shoes type Robin Hood characters. So that was kind of fun. I didn't like how Aladdin got the genie to work for him, and he started giving money to all his friends. That was kind of dumb. I mean, why wouldn't you just hold on to it and accumulate more? Isn't that what capitalism is supposed to be about? So-called capitalism. Anyway, there was an Aladdin movie that was produced in the USSR. I couldn't find it anywhere on Netflix, so I got this one instead. And there were a couple more Aladdin DVDs that I couldn't find on Netflix. So that's the only reason why I got this disc. It's disc number 6. There's another fairy tale in there. Something, I forget what it's called. Something like The Princess Who Couldn't Laugh. That one's pretty good. I mean, it's just a kid's tale. It's kind of fun because they make fun of going to school and being having good manners and being like a princess. So she ends up marrying a pig farmer, and at the end there's a pig in their bed, which was kind of interesting. The 4th episode I disliked the most. So it has the guy from Harry Dean Stanton. It has Harry Dean Stanton in it playing Rip Van Winkle, and I didn't like the story at all. I mean, it was cool that they had the 9 pins from the 1600s. And that part was cool when they were drinking and playing the 9 pins. But then when ridiculous-looking Tim Conway plays the mayor, he starts promoting democracy, which wasn't really what the American Revolution was about. The American Revolution was to establish a republic, not a democracy. And then Tim Conway contradicts himself by saying that women and blacks aren't allowed to vote. So on the one hand, he's saying, hey, democracy is a great thing, and then on the other hand, he's saying, well, it's not that great because you can't vote yet. So that was kind of dumb. I didn't like that part. And actually, the Rip Van Winkle episode is directed by Francis Ford Coppola. So so a lot of big time actors in this, a lot of big time directors. The sets look kind of cheap, but it kind of adds to the charm of this show. And so in some ways I enjoyed the fairy tale aspects, and in other ways I thought the historical perspectives of the directors were kind of dumb, and seems like they're trying to insert their leftist ideology in there, and so that's just the way it goes in 1982. I mean, I'm sure people hated Ronald Reagan at that time. They thought he was causing economic disaster and income inequality and all that stuff. So you can kind of see that in here, the political agenda of the people involved. But yeah, overall I gave it 4 stars. I didn't like the Tim Conway part. Otherwise I would have given it 5 stars. But first 2 episodes are good to watch on disc 6 if you're going to rent disc 6. I haven't seen all the discs. I just picked out one of them because of the Aladdin, directed by Tim Burton. So that's the best one to watch on disc 6. And if you're going to watch another one, watch The Emperor's New Clothes. Okay, that's the end of my review. This is a classic Showtime series according to Netflix. So there you go. Member reviews. I'm just scanning through these. Flashback into my childhood, 80s special effects. There's Malcolm McDowell as the Big Bad Wolf. That must be pretty cool. First movies we rented in the video store in the 80s. Should be on Instant View. Shelley Duvall is in the series, both as a producer and an actress. So those are some of the reviews on Netflix. Cool. Thanks for watching my vid. If you made it to 9 minutes, I give you 5 stars.